January 26, 1942, Great Britain. The first American troops arrive in Europe to fight in World War II, the bloodiest world conflict of all time. Nearly 16 million American soldiers will serve. The average soldier spends 16 months fighting overseas, leaving many unfilled jobs in both the military and civilian sectors. Women heeded the call to serve their country. Women have worked outside of the home before, but now they have a symbol of strength to look to for inspiration that embodies the work they must do to support their husbands, brothers, and sons overseas. She is one of the most iconic American images of all time. Rosie the Riveter. War was raging in Europe. Military commanders foresaw U.S. involvement and were concerned about having enough manpower, or, more fully, man and woman power. In May 1941, Chief of Staff George C. Marshall told the War Department, "I want a woman's corps right away, and no excuses." Congress allowed women to obtain full military status by joining the Women's Army Corps, or WAC. They had a choice of non-combatant roles across the globe. More than 150,000 women served in some form of Army role. The Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps followed suit. Women who already had pilot licenses flew transport and cargo planes, while others worked on aircraft maintenance and construction. Back home, factories were short-handed. They needed to replace the personnel lost due to military service. Thus, Rosie the Riveter was born. Rosie was one of the chief recruitment symbols during World War II for the munitions industry, which made materials that were fired, dropped, or detonated by various weapons. Her likeness became one of the most iconic wartime images of all time. In 1942, Westinghouse Corporation created the famous "We Can Do It" poster to boost morale among workers. Though she was never formally called Rosie, this was one of the first images featuring a no-nonsense woman encouraging others to do their bit during the war. A year later, famed illustrator Norman Rockwell created this cover for the Saturday Evening Post, titled Rosie the Riveter. His drawing portrayed a red-haired woman wearing a denim work uniform and eating a sandwich with a huge rivet gun in her lap. Rockwell's Rosie was rooted in the present and history. He based her pose on Michelangelo's 1509 painting, Prophet Isaiah. Rockwell's cover solidified Rosie's image in the public consciousness. The Rosie the Riveter campaign stretched across film, posters, music, photos, and newspapers. She stressed to women the need to show their patriotism during World War II by entering the workforce. From 1940 to 1945, the number of women in the workforce increased to 37%. For married women, 1 out of every 4 worked outside of the home, totaling 19 million women in the workforce. Rosie the Riveter was fiction, but the women she represented were very real. They served their country for the duration of World War II and made advancements for women in society. Those inspired by Rosie changed the role of women forever.